on TikTok and just do the.
Nah, I'm not gonna do it.
No, he doesn't watch Vikings or any cool shows, but
I didn't know Vikings was a show.
It's
Is it
all-
a-
dude, it's been-
Purcell's going to the Union. Yeah, everyone give him your order for Burger King. I used to love that.
Yeah, that's true.
We need 15 Whoppers.
Dan was our fucking DoorDash. That's
Yeah,
how it was.
The old days.
It was always like, dude, give me a Sprite. I got a $1. Give me a big Sprite.
Yeah,
I'm hungover.
the meal card, man.
Yeah, right. What was that called? Flex points? Is that what that was called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flex plan.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Call home, Mom. Can you put $200 on there? Thank you.
No, they let you do it right through the login. It was awesome.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
It was
You
more
remember
like,
when they?
Mom, I'm sorry if you saw that.
Remember the first year
Yeah.
we were there,
I'm
guys.
hungry.
The first year we were there, they had like sub connection, and they had
Yeah.
like
The
they had
potato place.
I can't remember what was in the middle, but I remember what it turned
potato.
into.
No,
Was
that
that a
was a
potato
hot dog
place?
place.
Total 80s, and then they got rid of it and they brought in Sbarro, and then
Yeah.
they brought something else in there for the sandwich piece. It was never the sub connection after that, or whatever. It was ICC was outside.
ISS.
Of it, right?
ISS was down the
outside.
street.
I do
Yeah.
remember it being total 80s. I remember it's looking like Saved by the Bell.
When we first got there,
Sub
totally.
connection, yeah.
It was fun. That building was cool.
I'm trying to remember the hot dog place.
It was
I
the
don't
hot
know
dog
what it's called.
factory. It was
Yeah,
like
the
the
hot dog
factory.
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 Hot dog
Yes.
factory, yeah.
Yes.
Most of the dorms are done. You know that, right?
Yeah.
North
Yeah.
Quad's totally gone.
All of them?
Yeah.
All four of them?
All four are gone. You know,
Damn.
they tore down they tore down one of them. Henninger, I think they tore down the one freshman dorm.
Wetzel's gone.
No, all four of those are gone.
Bayless
Yeah.
and Bayless and Henninger were the
Wait,
tall
North
ones.
Quad.
Thank you.
North
North
Quad is
doesn't
all gone.
exist anymore. And then they got rid of the gray ones. One of the gray ones. I can't remember which one.
Yeah, there was Wetzel, Tanner,
Bayhan.
Corbin.
Bayham.
Corbin
Corbin
was
Olsen
the other
was.
one.
Corbin Olsen was in the
Olsen.
opposite corner.
Yeah. And then they had.
What about the ones when you
Wash.
first drove? When you first drove
Link
in,
Wash.
you made the right and you would drive straight at them.
Thompson and Higgins.
Thompson, Higgins.
Thompson,
They got rid.
yeah.
They got rid of
Higgins.
Thompson.
No, they got rid of Higgins.
Okay, that. Okay, that's it. Whatever. I knew they got rid of one of them.
I just
Why?
remember because Sean sent me the video. That's the only reason I know
Why?
that.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
think about that.
They have
They
housing
got-
for like 2,000 kids?
Yeah,
Jeez.
we went when we went. It was like 14 or 15. They're like down to 7.
Jeez.
I think they're gonna move that whole thing to the
Quad
Iowa
City.
campus.
Quad
Yeah,
Cities.
because that campus is really nice.
Yeah, but that campus in Macomb is really nice too.
I agree, but they're trying to be like a business something or other. I don't know.
It was
I
a fun
honestly-
feel. You knew everybody. It felt like if you went there 4 years, by your 4th year, everywhere you went, you would just be like, yeah, I know that guy. I mean, it was.
I agree. I mean, I had fun at Western. There's a lot of times where I've looked at some of these videos we've done, and we've talked about the things we would have done if we did on something else. I've made that claim too, that if I'd have known what I could have done, I would have changed it. But I mean, the 4 solid years, because I left and came back, the 4.5 solid years I was at Western were fucking awesome. Like, Western did exactly what it was meant to do for me, which is allow me to just get drunk and get some college degrees. Like, it would have been harder in school at other schools, and it would have been much more boring at school at other schools, and probably less cool people, because the mix of Western was like pretty awesome. Like, and so when you talk about it like disappearing, I'm surprised by that, because I think that mostly everybody that went to Western had a good fucking time, and I'm surprised that the school's died out as much as it has, because it wasn't a boring place. Like, for as little as it was, we fucking had something to do every goddamn night. Every fucking night we could get hammered and have a good time. Like,
We had one thing to do.
Yeah,
well, it was in different locations. We'll put it
Yeah.
that
True.
way, right?
We mixed it up. Got
I
variety.
mean, yeah, I can't imagine going anywhere else. Honestly, like I wish I could
Yeah.
have gone somewhere else, but like just for the experience. But honestly, I don't think I don't know.
My wife's college sucked. Like, she talks about it, and I'm thinking about like I'm not gonna say where she went, but it was down, in the south state below us. And I will say that she talks about her experiences and how great they were, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, man, we had so much better time in college. Like we were, like the parties were huge and the bars were huge. Even by the end, like everything was like it was on TV. Maybe not with the types of chicks that were hanging out with. I mean, you could see that like that, but I think the college experience that you see on television was somewhat in a range of the college experience, except we didn't have the fraternity piece of it. But I will say, like other people's colleges, other people's colleges, they have one or two. Like Fred would talk about a night in college, and I'm like, dude, your fucking nights blow ass. Like I could just imagine like how boring your college is, and through time they have these nights that they remember. But I just remember every night just being we could have made it whatever the hell we wanted to be. So I look back on Western pretty well. I'm just surprised it's gone so shitty because honestly, I went to Northern a couple times and Northern fucking sucked. Like I would have never been happy at Northern. So maybe that's just me. Maybe it was perfect for what I was looking for.
I haven't talked to many people that send their kids to Western or that people have gone to Western or I don't know lately. Like when I went, like 10, 15 kids from my school went there.
Yeah, it's off the radar now. I think it's just too far away. Like people don't want to drive that far now.
Yeah, and a lot of people go out of state now. I mean, I don't know how they have the money.
Could be that. Yeah.
Going out of state, like when that was not even an option when I went to school.
Yeah,
like,
but Dan, that was 20 years ago. You know, we talk about the differences in the economy from 20 years ago. Sure. I mean, people just have money to burn now. I mean, everyone complains about being poor on fucking food stamps, but they have 6 flat screen TVs in their house. So, like, I mean, the money is just available. Like for the 90s, I still think that there were some hardcore people that made like the choice to go to Western because they couldn't afford anything else.
Yeah.
And now I don't think Western is really that much. It's probably like $10, $10,000 a year. Like,
yeah, I don't know anymore, but yeah.
At the risk of sounding old, I think we got away with a lot of stuff you wouldn't get away with now. Like putting marks on sidewalks all the way to the house that you're partying at and then having a house party with 400 people in it. Like, not because of the pandemic, but like, I think they cracked down on that shit very heavily, even before the pandemic. So it's just kind of like, you know, we got away with a ton of cool shit.
Did you ever see, like a couple of years ago, there was like a small little riot down there?
Yeah, they had that party on Wheeler or something, and they just went overboard.
Yep. They had to bring like all the police, like the state, the local, all
right. They had riot gear, right?
They did the siren, the riot.
Yeah,
the
they brought out like tear gas and everything.
What? Dare I ask what was it about? They ran out of tanks at the fucking liquor store? Like what?
No, they were just partying. A party got out of control. Like everybody from campus was there.
Because they're in like the middle of the street. It's like, you know, the flat house, the box house? I think it's like right by that house, wasn't it?
Legends. Those dudes are legends now. Legends.
What was it? The VCR house. And, yeah.
The VCR house, yeah. Yeah, it's like right there.
Yeah, because if you look at that video, the sea of beer cans, like the street you couldn't even see anymore. Like it was that many people had been out there and all these house parties just hit. And it seemed like the whole campus was there, but they cleaned out. It was just a sea of beer cans. Where I was like, oh my God, we would have dominated there.
Were you guys there when we did the pony keg race?
Yes.
On Wheeler. Dude,
oh my God,
that was out of control.
How stupid is that?
That's when they brought Lauren and
there
Nikki
was like
over
5 people per team. It was like, what are we doing?
And it was just flippy until it was gone.
I just remember nobody was there. There was like 10 people. And we had 2 like pony kegs. I was like,
we did it.
I was like, why did
I thought that we had one that was like 6 teams going because we had 2 chicks on each team. Like there was a ton of rules. If you puked,
so we had multiple, Ben. I think the one you're talking about, Ben, was later in life. The one they're talking about was on it was on Wheeler.
I remember going back there when you were there, Jake, and you were hanging out with that dude Bane, and I remember there was a mini pool in a house, and that there was like drinks in this mini pool, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, it was the weirdest thing.
Like a blow up pool?
Yeah, I was like, I guess we're drinking out of this blow up pool. Like you took your cup and like put it in the pool. I was like, what the fuck?
There's a lot of weird things happened after you guys left. The one thing that was really awesome after you guys left, I don't know if you guys ever came back for one, but we had 2 or 3 every year, was a house crawl. It was the most amazing invention we came up with.
I went to one. I went to one
as well.
Fucking awesome.
Yeah.
We ended up at 923 Stadium, and the couch was in the fire.
On fire, yes. That's the same night I saw the pool. That was that same weekend.
Those were some of the best party nights ever. You would start at like noon and go to like 7 different houses, and
Who
everybody
knows?
would pay for cups. There were just
That's-
houses that we would get together. We would all say, hey, like
Yeah.
you have a house, I have a house. We're putting on a house crawl. We'd start with like 2 houses, and all of a sudden you'd have 7 houses doing it, and have one person collecting money, and the houses would make all their money back, and everybody drank for free. Basically, everybody paid $4, and everybody that lived in the houses got all their money back. It was fucking
Who were
awesome.
those guys though? Like, how did you meet up with those guys? Because like
A lot of them were
everybody
5-6.
was
A lot of them
Oh.
were 5-6.
You hung out with other people after we were gone?
No, I just sat in my room and jerked it.
What happened?
You-
What happened to this?
Yeah.
gone.
You-
And funny thing is, guys, is I
Didn't
don't
mean
talk to
anything.
any of them. I don't talk to any of them anymore. It's kind of weird. Hey, you guys were gone. You guys were gone when the Sox won the World Series, but it was
Thankfully,
yes. That was another event down there that was pretty out of
I wanted
control.
no
You
part.
were,
What about? We haven't talked about it. Well, what about Christy Swanson?
I think we
You
talked
got, you
about
have?
it.
Do you have Christy?
I don't have her.
I have
forgot
Christy.
it.
I have Christy.
You have
I still have it.
Christy
Should not
Swanson.
have been driving that night. That's for sure.
What happened? I don't remember
That's one of
this.
those things.
That was the fourth batch, I believe,
Yeah.
that night of juice. We went
No
to
one
Ivy.
needs 4 batches.
Went to Ivy. It's like 12. I think it was like midnight. Like, we need another batch. Let's go get the ingredients.
Yeah. You drove, and I remember seeing that Jeep so tore up, driving to that store.
I don't know
We
what
were-
he's talking about. I was sober the whole time. I
Dude,
never
we
drove
were-
drunk.
We were good at it seemed like if you went to Western, you were good at being drunk driving. It was the stupidest. It's stupid. I would
I-
never do it now, but my God.
And I didn't test fate quite a bit. We walked a hell of a lot in that school, but there were some times where Christie's a perfect example because we weren't just going for Christie. Our dumbasses were going for third batch. So
Yeah.
we were making a run for third batch. And oh, by the way, you got Christie. So it was like we're drunk out of our brains of having like all of this fucking alcohol, and then we're getting in a car to drive and get a Playboy magazine and more liquor so we can get more hammered. I just look at those moments and go, what the fuck were we thinking, dude?
These really crappy strong drinks. Like back then, like, yes, this is the greatest drink ever. Now I could never drink. What was it? Long Island iced teas. On
Long
that
Island
crap.
iced tea.
I could never drink
Jamaican
those.
Long Island.
They were so strong. I
Dude,
remember
we
now.
drink at the calf though.
It was the best. Hey, that was the best bartending we knew there.
I just remember going to the cafe, and I was like, "Why are we here? There's nobody here." They're like, "That's why we're here." I was like, "The whole sole purpose."
Dude, I love that. I think that was my favorite bar in a way.
Yeah, that was my favorite part.
The sole
Especially
purpose.
towards the end. Even after you guys left, the calf became the only bar I went to because I would just get wrecked after like $20. Like it was the only bar I could just. completely
And then
wreck.
when that year that I went back to visit, and it's like Two Dogs became this fucking universe of I don't know what it was. Like it took over the movie theater or something.
Yeah,
It
it
was
took the
like,
movie theater over.
what the
It
hell
wasn't
happened
Two
here?
Dogs. Two Dogs
Called
was
the
still
Forum.
there was one bar. Yeah, the Forum was the theater. It took over the theater.
Yep.
It connected though. It connected.
Dude,
And they
Two
closed the
Dogs.
top- they
I
closed
had
the top.
fun in Two Dogs. I tell you that.
Yeah.
Two Dogs was fun.
There was no bar I didn't fucking love at Western. The only bar that I was kind of iffy on was that one that was behind the Pace. It wasn't behind the Pace. It was on the square. It wasn't Two Dogs.
Yeah, the purple something.
No, not the Pride. It was in the square.
Was
but
it
it was
the
the one
Ritz?
that we very rarely. Yeah, the Ritz. We never
Ritz.
really went to the Ritz
Yeah.
that much.
We
That was the
that
one I was
the-
like, this fucking sucks.
Did you guys go to
But
Top
even-
of the
I had
Town?
good nights there too. What's up?
Dude,
Guys
top
go
of
to
the
Top of the
town.
Town?
I love
Dude,
the
I
top, dude.
I
I love that
partied
place.
hard at the top of the town. And
You know what I did at the
forgot
top
my
of the town?
existence there.
I
Many
would
times.
order beer and pee at the bar while I was ordering
Oh
beer.
yeah, that was my move. You're
You
welcome.
guys all
For
doing
that.
that.
You're welcome for me teaching you that.
Yes.
and then they made the link. Remember on the
The
other
link.
side.
Yeah.
Link.
Yeah, I forgot about the
Tiny little
link.
bar.
Yeah, and there was like that sports bar also, like in the corner or something, the square.
Parkway.
Yeah, what was it called?
Park High? Bruh.
Parkway, wasn't it?
Parkview.
Parkside. Parkside.
Parkside.
Side.
Yeah.
And we only went there for the food on like Sunday.
Yeah, we
Mini
would go there in the
tacos.
mini tacos.
Lately, I've been drinking White Claws. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm so glad you're here.
What are those? What are those?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh my god, dude!
I-
They're probably the Zimas of this generation.
I
We'll put it-
prefer the pineapple. It's good. Yeah.
Oh, What is this?
It's got a
It's-
hint of pineapple.
Please just go get a can.
I
How often
have
did
to-
you go to a bar in Macomb and walk out sober? That would be a quality statistic if you
Never.
could figure that piece out.
don't think
I mean,
ever
there was
did.
some. There was some nights where I just couldn't get my edge off, but it
Mm.
wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot.
I remember going to Parkside once with Dorney. And it might be in the same night that you were there. Anyways, and he's like, "You turned a bit. You're a bitch ever since you turned 21." And I was like, "Ha! I'm only 20." And I screamed it at the bar so loud. I was like, "Fuck you! I'm only 20." And I
But that was the
like,
cool thing about Macomb. You could go in the bar if you were 20.
At 19,
You were
and bite
supposed
your ass off. You can't do that anymore. I promise you, they don't allow that anymore.
You
No
could
way.
go in. You couldn't drink, but it's like, dude, if you're inside, of course you're drinking.
I never once got checked for stamps. Ever. It's great.
I did the math, and I almost cringed thinking about all the money we wasted, us, because the kegs for Keystone were $45 at the time. We would go and buy $13 cases, all of us, and then come home and have
Yep.
a third of the beer we could have just pounded kegs.
That's your big takeaway from college, that you spent too much money on Keystone that you could have spent on better Keystone.
I mean,
No,
I
yeah,
agree.
yeah.